This is our first and only ever Zoom SOA Community Membership meeting. So I'm going to start with a little bit of movement just to get us going, and then we'll do some introductions and some updates. So if you have space you want to move in, that's great. Make sure it's clear. I don't want you to hit, slip, fall, trip on anything around you. If you want to stay seated, that's fine as well. We're going to do Azoro Taiso, followed by Tenshin Goso Se, and then Tenshin Goso Dai, and then I'll return back to my seated position. So join me in standing if you wish, stay seated if you wish. So let's start where we are. Let's do our Mokso and Rei to start and end this part of the body movement. So Mokso, Mokso Yame, and Rei. All right. Well, good morning again. And if people are joining, we're going to be doing some Azoro Taiso. Ah and no. Seated, standing, or still, or moving. Your choice of how you wish to proceed. So let's go ahead and do 4 or 5 rounds. Let's start with and let's go. Ah, ah, oh, ah, oh. Couple more. Ah. Oh. And as you end, find a nice view, perhaps, to let your gaze go far. And again, from where you are, seated, standing, tension goes say. So more formal. You may use your voice softly if it is okay in your setting. Um, ah, twisting. A, oh, um, and allow yourself to sink a little bit deeper. Let's go through tension, go so die, larger, expressive. Um, ah! Oh. Um, and right, that ends the movement part of part 1. I'm going to rejoin up front. You may be seated if you wish. If you're already seated, that's great. Give me a moment to get myself settled. Good morning again. If others have joined since I started, this is our first Zoom SOA membership meeting. So Thank you for everybody's participating. Stay cool, stay warm, stay hydrated, stay safe. All right. So I think my face is known to you. Oh, hello. I am the SOA president and chair of the SOA board, and I believe a few of the board members are coming up to join me shortly. I see Jim Sterling has joined me, Laura Sheehan Barron. Sandra, as one of the board officers, will be joining, and in a bit, Tommy. David Palmer is here in the audience as well, and I have not seen David Franklin arrive yet, but he is also part of our board. So great. Our intent today is to share some information that might be new information for you or to reinforce information about what the organization of SOA does. We have two parts. We have the SOA board, handles a lot of the administrative and the infrastructure support. We have the SOA NTC, who does a lot of the pieces around teaching, curriculum. And we have the most important people, our SOA members. So as we move through this, the third segment will be our community time. We're not going to record during that, and I look forward to hearing from our community members more about their activities, interests, and thoughts about Shitite of America. So again, welcome. Two of the activities that I wanted to highlight for SOA. One was in last year, 2024. There was a large international Shintaido event that happens every 4 years, and this one happened in England. It was DoCon 24. And SOA, through donations and prior monies that had been donated and given to SOA, sponsored 8 people with travel stipends to go to DoCon. And we had a total of 11 people going. And during this DoCon, high-level exams were given, and several people on the screen did progress in their recognized rankings as increasing. So that was lovely. Thank you to them all. The other part I wanted to mention that coming up for this year, we supported just recently in May a weekend to honor Ito, and Nicole Beauvoir was here. We do have an HF Ito Memorial Fund, and thank you to all those who have given at the time of his death. And those funds were used to help support Nicole travel here, as well as when she traveled to Japan, where she spread some of his ashes. Upcoming in October, with much gratitude to Pak Shin, who agreed that SOA could host an event in the Bay Area, and my thanks to Margaret Guay and SNE, who agreed to forego their October SNE weekend workshop. We are having in October 11th, 12th, and 13th a Kenjutsu workshop. And our invited guest speaker is Pierre Kete, who is a 5th Dan Shintaido practitioner and student. He received his Godan 5th Dan at DoCon. So very excited to have him come and share more about Kenjutsu. So as I said and I introduced on the screen, SOA has the volunteer board and we have officers. And I've asked each of them to speak a little bit about some of our SOA activities. And we are monitoring the chat, so if questions come up, please go ahead and add something there, and we'll take a chance during our community meeting to go over other questions. So first, Jim, thank you for joining this morning. Jim is our editor of Body Dialogue, as well as being a volunteer SOA board member. Would you like to speak a little bit about Body Dialogue, please, Jim?
Sure. I think most of the people I see here have contributed something to the Body Dialogue over the course of the last few years. So thank you very much. It's been pretty active. We've been very fortunate to have Connie, who helps a lot with asking folks for articles and also helping me with the editing. And then a woman whose name is Teresa. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. And she's been great. She's kind of working on helping to publish the Body Dialogue and the MailChimps that go out. And we've been pretty good. We've published almost for a full couple of years now, at least one article a month, almost 2 articles a month. And the scope has expanded in that we've had many articles that aren't even directly related to Shintaido, but touch on it to some degree. And I'll just put out a request to anyone who's online if they'd like to write up something, testimonials, personal impressions. I think it'd be great if there's folks there who are teaching. I think we put out a request for people who are teaching classes to please write up something and we can publish it. Where's Nicole? Is Nicole here? Masters? You there? Hi, Nicole. We published a great piece. She's just starting up a beginner's class locally and through her own work. And, we're open to all kinds of ideas and want to keep rolling. So thank you.
Thanks, Jim. And thank you, Sarah. In the chat, you'll see there's a contact at newsletter@shindaido.org, and that will go to Jim. So you can reach him that way if you don't have his personal email. Let me welcome Laura Sheehan-Barron. She is also a volunteer board member stepping in this year to help fill some of our vacancies. And she is membership secretary. So Laura, you want to speak a little bit about our 2025 membership drive?
Yes, Connie, thank you. We have 52 members that have paid their dues for 2025, and 5 of them are new members, and 3 are students of Jennifer Perringer's, and 1 is Tommy's daughter also. And we have permanent members, 4 of them, and we really appreciate their membership. I think that is all I have.
Good. And just to reiterate, membership is still open. So if that has been on your to-do list for a while, you know that I know you are. So please go ahead and consider renewing. It does help support us. Because now you hear about our finances. And Sandra, thank you so much for stepping forward and returning to a role that you occupied so ably as treasurer, because I couldn't do it without you. So thank you, Sandra.
Well, the secret of being treasurer is that Connie does all the work. That's really the important point to note here. But I do have a treasurer's report. So for 2024, because obviously we're in the midst of 2025, a fact about our finances that virtually no one cares about is that we're cash basis. So money in the end, money out. That's how it works each year. In 2024, we had approximately $5,600 in income, and we had expenses of a little over $13,000. What's very important to note is that all of this income and expenses includes one-time allocated funds, okay? So the heart of what we do for our organization is that we had income of $5,600, as I mentioned. And of that income, $3,500-ish is membership, okay? All expenses in 2024 that are routine, standard operating expenses were a total of $3,500. So we're right there. So we spend what we make, and the additional funds that were, quote, expensed were allocated or set aside previously in previous periods for DOCON, mostly DOCON 24, okay? The other important point to note is that all these funds are pre-approved for spending. Nobody makes a decision just to spend money. Connie assiduously gets approval for everything. And so all of these funds are allocated with forethought and good judgment. So SOA is a going concern. We bring in what we need, we spend what we have. And when we have additional funds that have been donated or set aside for very specific purposes, we spend the money on those purposes. So we're doing just fine. And what is at the end of 2024, we had approximately $25,000 in the bank. So that's where we are as an organization, money-wise. Okay.
Thank you, Sandra. Oh yes, Laura, go ahead. Oh, you're just applauding. Before I say thank you to our board members, and we're doing well on time. Did I see any questions come up? Sarah, anyone who's monitoring hand wavings or puzzled faces?
I haven't seen anything.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Jim, Sandra, and Laura. Rob, you will be back. You'll be back.
I'll be back.
And I did not see that David Franklin has joined us. He does live in the Czech Republic. He is a member of SOA, very active with us. But now I'm pleased that Tomi Nagarote is here. And some of the things that SOA does as infrastructure support, one is give, and we have thanks to Stephen Bilius, a liability insurance that allows us to fulfill the requirement of many facilities that want a liability insurance coverage. And so many instructors have used that, and we were able to provide that for Tomi. So she's going to talk about that workshop she provided. And the second thing that Tomi is going to talk about is that SOA is providing a fiscal sponsorship to the global Timeo community. They're a non-organized group that's been doing Timeo for quite some time. And so we are now, SOA is the fiscal sponsor for them. So thank you, Tomi, for being prepared and coming with some slides. Please tell us a little bit about your workshop in May and what's coming up in July.
Can you see the slide?
I see it perfectly.
Okay, great. So Connie asked me to speak a little bit about a workshop I led in Philadelphia in May. It was really an afternoon version of a week-long workshop I've offered in the summer of 2023 and 2024. And the title is Moving Compassionately to Address Stress and Conflict. But I really think of it as using Shintaido as a conflict transformation tool. And I offered it to Quakers, who I call friends. And it's what Ito called Shintaido software. So it's applications of Shintaido for everyday life. And it was really, really well received. I was very happy. We did things like obviously grounding, shock, what Ito taught us, shock, rock. So our instinctive responses to stress, getting tense, wakame, bamboo, stepping in. There's a photo there, stepping in, and Ushido Irimi, welcome this way, please. And it was amazing how people took to it and learned it in a very short period of time. And my friend Inspira, who's in the group photo on the right side, has a lot of mobility issues and uses a walker, and she was able to do the whole thing. So it's very it's accessible. That was a prime interest of mine because there are a lot of folks in my age group and above who have mobility issues, and so I was able to adapt it to a pretty wide group. And I've written about it in Body Dialogue as well. Okay, next slide is so. This year, SOA agreed to be a fiscal sponsor of the Global Timeo Community, originally established by Ito. And I think we think of it as, I think the hope is that we wanted to join forces with Shintaido of America, and that we're an intact group that's organized and active, and it would bring more offerings to SOA under the SOA umbrella. And we're hoping more people will encounter the Global Timeo community, the gatherings, the videos, great articles. There's a huge amount of resources that Sarah's been instrumental in helping us pull together. And then obviously it'll help us professionalize our finances. So that's been a great gift, and we're looking forward to this collaboration. And then about the Global Timeo community, we have a really amazing website that Sarah created. There's so much wonderful things there. There's videos of some of our presenters and a lot of great articles. This year, the gathering is called The Space of Love, Aikukan. It's running July 20th to 26th, which is a Sunday through a Saturday in our typical 1 week format. And it's really getting together to practice, reflect on life, and how we can be a positive influence in the circles that we inhabit. On Sunday, Masashi Minigawa Sensei will be speaking with Lee's interpretation on Aikukan. And then on the following Saturday, I'll be giving a presentation on Ito's peacemaking legacy, and as it relates to Global Timeo community. And in between, We'll have uh, instructors around the world offering Timeo practice, not instruction, but practice in their time zone. So there are things, they're pretty much offerings for everybody that you can attend without having to get up in the middle of the night, we hope. So we're looking forward to it. It should be a great gathering, and we have a good amount of people registered, but you can register online, and I can put that in the chat if you would like.
Thank you, Tommy. That would be good. What is the cost for the week, Tommy? Did you mention that?
It's 65 for the whole week. And you know, we don't want people not to come for lack of funds, so we ask people to reach out to Connie if there's some issue and they'd like to get a scholarship.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you.
It's a lovely practice that we've had that's grown, and this week will really allow us to intensify. And thank you, Tommy, for a lovely
Oh, and
summer.
but thanks to Minigawa Sensei, that's his calligraphy
Yes,
which for this event, which is very special.
it is. We're continuing to do well on time. So before I say goodbye to Tommy at this point, is there any questions that came up? Again, something in the chat, wave your hand, raise your hand. We're doing good.
Yes, will that be on Zoom, Tommy? The ICUCOM?
Yes, it's all on Zoom.
Great, thank you.
And
Thanks.
certainly, Matt, if people are having classes in person, people will be doing that and then having hybrids. But yeah, the two talks are on Zoom. And Tommy, we'll be recording it as well, correct? Is the plan to record the talks?
Yes, we'll record that. There won't be any recording of the group, is as in this format of the group conversations or anything else, just the presentations.
Good morning, Matt. Glad you're here. Okay. We're doing very well on time. So let me thank Tommy and bring up Rob. Hello.
Mute.
Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Okay, I'm there. Okay, now I see us.
Good. All right. So allow me to introduce to those who don't know, Rob Gaston, who is our SOA National Technical Committee Chair, and he's entering his second two-year term in that position. So I've asked him to present some of the teachers from the SOA NTC and some of the activities that are happening with the teachers. So Rob, would you like to
Yes.
take over here?
Hi. Hello, everybody. The National Technical Committee is a group of Sondon and senior instructors and above in the that are in the Americas here, and as well as David Franklin, who happens to be in Czech, but he's still also an SOA member. We are in charge of various the main things that we are in charge of is scheduling and preparing for exams and determining the curriculum for exams that are going to happen below NEDON. There's also an international that does above the NEDON level. So I'd like to go ahead and introduce. So as I said, I'm the chair right now. My term runs through 2027. Connie is one of the members. I'd like to introduce Jennifer Peringer. She is a member. Lee Ordman is a member. Lee Seaman is a member. Ken Alke is a member. And who did we just add? We added somebody.
Margaret Guay.
Margaret Guay. And then we have one more, Jim Sterling, that is here today. Jim Sterling. There we go. Good. I got everybody, right? So as you see, we're a fairly large group. We meet quarterly and to discuss curriculum, ways of supporting teaching, and the examination process as we do. So one of the things that I personally, in my tenure, am really working towards is these people, look at them. If they're in your region and you have questions about how to teach or where to teach or please reach out to us, any one of us, and request some help to support. We're here for you to support you in teaching and making Shintaido yours to express and transmit. I've got to look at my list to see what else I'm supposed to talk about. Okay. Speaking towards exams, in September of 2025, we'll have our next exams for Q levels in association with a Pacific Shintaido event in September 13th. It's a one-day bow workshop that Jennifer and I are leading, and we'll have Q level exams if people are interested. Please feel free to spread that word. If you have a desire for exams, please feel free to reach out to me as the chairman or any of the NTC members to put that request forward for your region. Going forward, we're planning in 2026. Yes, Jennifer.
I just want to clarify, Rob. I think we're open for Q level exams not only in Bo, but also Karate and Shintaido. Yes?
Yes.
I just wanted to clarify that.
I'm sorry if that was not clear. Yes. Going forward, going forward, we have a plan for 2026 is the 50th anniversary of Shintaido of America in the United, and we're planning a national Gashku we are in its nascent stage, moving to plan to do that here, and the plans are to have it here in the Bay Area, and to we've got requests out for instructors. I'm gonna leave it vague at this point because we're still in the planning stages. Okay, I would like to then move on and introduce some of the NTC members individually and give them an opportunity to talk a little bit about what they're doing in their teaching and to encourage more opportunity to practice and do it. So first, I'd like to start with Jennifer. And I'll let her tell about her classes and what she's doing.
Oh, okay. Hi. Thanks, Rob, for the opportunity. Well, I am teaching twice a week at the moment in Glen Park, a beautiful park near where I live in the south part of San Francisco. And from 8 to 9:30 in the morning. And I'm focused on Bo on Mondays and on karate on Thursdays. And so we're having lots of fun in the park. It's beautiful there, lots of birds and children in the playground. And yeah, I have between, 4 and 6 students. And we're just having lots of fun, getting some exercise, and enjoying the beautiful nature. And yeah, come and join us.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. I'll also want to add in Jennifer is also, along with me, co-organizer of regional events here in the Bay Area. So we work with Pacific Shintaido to support and have the regular regional events here.
Yeah, we've been going on we've been trying to get out to the beach more often, every once in a while, and get more visibility and invite new people to come and try things out on the beach once in a while on a Sunday or a Saturday.
Okay.
Okay, done.
Thank you. Next, I have Lee Ordman. He's a senior instructor, teaches in Washington, D.C., and I'll let him introduce himself.
Thanks, Rob. I presently lead a class up in Northwest Baltimore at a retirement community. they've changed their name recently. I think it's called Heritage at Augsburg, but it's at a retirement community called that's traditionally historically been called Augsburg Village. Um, Going through ownership issues these days. But in any case, I teach there on Saturdays, every other Saturday of the month, in the afternoon, and have been doing so for nearly 5 years now. And so longitudinally, it's been an interesting journey. And we are not an open class, though anybody might be welcome. It's just the members from the community, and it's one of the offerings that the community offers. I'm sort of a contractor with the community, and I set up there because my parents were living there at the time, and they were looking for someone to teach movement and exercise. And I think it's an interesting class, and I would happy to go into what it's like to teach such an elderly population of people, group of people, because the class is all seated. And when I set up the class, I set it up in modeling on Ito's classes when he visited the Bay Area. And so it's Taimyo, seated. The theme is always Taimyo. And recently we've been working on Renki, which is something that seems to be in revival mode these days across the Shintaito world. And I discovered it has a lot of applications for people sitting in chairs. And it's having an effect. It's not everyone's receiving it very, very easily, but it's having a strong effect. So that's good. Yeah, and that's about it.
Well, thank you, Lee.
Mhm.
Again, as I move along, if anything interests you, a particular curriculum that you hear about from us, please feel free to reach out and to those that are talking about it and ask for more information. Next, I'm going to ask Margaret Way. She's the SNE. What is the exact title of SNE? I'll let you say. And
Well, chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board. Okay. And she's a senior instructor teaching in Northampton, right? Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and turn it over.
Yeah. So I've been a member of the Shintaito Northeast Board for a long time, and we aim to have a monthly regional class. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We're really looking forward to being outdoors April and May, and each time we scheduled something, it had poured, and we hadn't had an indoor space. So these things just didn't happen. Now we are known. Now it's like, okay, we're doing Keiko, we're indoors. A little sad for us because by the time spring rolls around in New England, you just want to be outdoors. So it's been a more gradual, like, okay, we'll get things together and go out. But our monthly Keikos, they happen. It's lovely to get together. It's a great time to just meet and socialize and do Keiko together. Riding on that is we often have a Gashku in October, and this year, because of the event in California, we'll probably have something a little bit earlier and have it in late September. And it may just be a one-day workshop, depending on who would like to come. But for sure, we'll have something so that we can have a longer event together. And as for me, I'm starting a bow class on Wednesdays in the park nearby. I think Bela has been teaching seniors. She's traveling now, but she's had a class that she also works with seniors. And Matt just taught a really great class on using Shintaido and nonviolent communication. So there's a lot of interesting things that are tying in with all of you in a more global way. Yeah, that's all for now.
Awesome. So if you have sneak questions, reach out to Margaret.
Yeah.
Telephone is best.
Yeah, emails get kind of lost. So texting, I can track it better. Thanks.
Okay, next up, I'm gonna have introduce Shin Aoki. He is a PAC-Shin board member and a senior or general instructor. I'm sorry, general instructor and our highest ranking karate instructor in Shintaido of Kodan in karate to highlight some of his accomplishments. And I'm going to let him tell about what he's been doing recently and what about his classes.
Gerald. Hi, everybody. And I teach a weekly Shintaido karate class on Saturdays at Lake Temescal Park in Oakland. And it's a beautiful oasis surrounded by redwood trees and lake where I've been teaching for the last 28 years, I believe, yes. And we primarily practice Shintaido karate and most of the year and switch to Shintaido Kenjutsu in winter in preparation for our PAC-Shin Kangeiko. And let's see, we explore some fundamental themes like managing space and timing and integrating nature in our keiko. And we're having a lot of fun. Please come.
Oh, thank you, Shin. Also, Shin just returned from just recently from the UK and was the invited instructor at the Dianshu there. Does anything? How did that go? Anything you want to let us know about how that went?
Well, it was so this was kind of follow-up keiko after the Dokkan. It's a big event, and it went really well. It was beautiful. It's much more relaxed event since there was no exams and no meetings. So I really got to enjoy the beautiful scenery and got to explore the area. And the weather was perfect, which is unusual. But I lucked out.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to go out of order now on my list here and ask Connie to go before me and tell a little bit about what she's doing and what her activities and what makes her heart go pitter patter.
Okay. Big request. All right. Wednesday mornings at 10 o'clock our time, I go down the street. We have a park and do a bow, and often now it's a wooden sword class. Predominantly one student who joined us from the community very bravely came up and said, "I love long sticks," and has been taking the class now as sporadically as he's in town, and then Rob comes and supports. So that's been great to be teaching bow to someone who's had some experience, but presenting it from the Shintaido aspect, as well as he's had some sword experience and presenting what does Shintaido Bokto and what does Shintaido Kenjutsu mean to us and how we approach it. So that's been very, very informative, especially for teaching. Wednesday afternoon, I do a 4 o'clock Zoom class of the basics of Shintaido, again inspired by a student joining who had been in England, although she lives in LA, but she was in England and went to the Shintaido 50th anniversary there and wanted to come back and learn Tenshin Goso and some of the basic movements. So with her inspiring us, I've offered Wednesday afternoon class. And I'm very grateful for so many people who've come and supported it. Tommy, Lee, Pam, and Beavis, who's incredibly irregular and taught for me last week when I was on vacation. So that's been also a very fun class to teach the basics and still find what's the joy in Shintaido. I guess that makes my heart go pitter patter that people are excited and interested. On Sundays, I'm one of 3 that co-teach our Sunday Zoom class right now. Sarah Baker is teaching it with our focus on the Kenjutsu coming up to our October workshop. Can I plug that October workshop again and again? Please come. So we are practicing that on Sundays. And Rob and I have also co-taught on that Sunday as well. Wednesdays is my full day. I start the morning bright and early. Marta, who's also in our gallery audience, has asked for private lessons. So Wednesday is quite the full day for me. So I enjoy it very much. Thanks. I'll pass it back to Rob.
So yeah, I'll plug the workshop again. So Connie and I are the organizers. Reach out to us if you have any questions, further information, ways to help it happen for you.
The registration information should be coming out before the close of this month. So please watch your MailChimps, open them, and click on the links. Do not.
Connie.
So registration will be coming shortly with details.
So for my classes, I teach on Sunday and Zoom as one of the 3 instructors teaching there. But I also my main in-person classes are Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. up in Kitati, California, which is north in the North Bay of just north of San Francisco. At 6 p.m. It's Kaihoke, Shintaido, and karate primarily is what I'm teaching, but I have been doing some Kenjutsu in prep for the students in preparation for the upcoming workshop. My other main classes, which I've been teaching for quite a long time now, I'm not sure exactly how many years. It alternates between San Francisco Golden Gate Park and up here in Novato, where I live, which is in the North Bay, which is a Bojutsu class at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. That's right. That's the day. We have three regular students in the Tuesday class. It's newer. We've had a few drop-ins. A few people have. Laura's really good at bringing friends and giving them a taste, and hopefully they come back. I really enjoy them. And then the other in Golden Gate Park and Novato, we have 4 people who regularly practice in that class. Other than that, I'm busy with an NTE chair and assisting Connie in every possible way I can think of. Okay, I'm gonna say that's it for the NTC.
Yeah, we're really doing well on time. So if there's any other questions for the NTC, please feel free to raise your hand, open your mic before we move into the community portion.
Questions, requests, any?
I have a comment.
Please comment.
It combines the treasurer's report and the NTC. I think everybody probably knows this, but I would like to remind everybody that if you care to start a class and you need financial assistance, please ask for it. I've always hoped that would be one of the things that Shintaido of America would be able to support as much as possible, especially somebody who's just starting their own class for the first time. You know, you might have to deal with dojo expenses or other things related to the starting of a class, and Shintaido of America offers financial assistance for that. So just a reminder. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. That is accurate. It is in our budget. And you heard Tommy mention that we had helped her 2 different times when she was doing some of her presentations, largely to the Quaker community. And Tommy just gave us a nice testimonial that she appreciates the support she's gotten. And I've had conversations with others who are pondering starting a class and or what expenses they might need to come. And related to that, in case anyone also is looking for bows, Bokto or Boken, I am one of the places that stores extra equipment. And when Heather requested, the main thing I just asked for was, please cover the shipping. We aren't collecting fees on this equipment. It was donated by many of the Shintaito practitioners who wanted their weapons to continue forward in practice. So I do house those. All right. No other questions so far. We'll go to our community segment, and we're going to go to gallery view and stop recording.